the Hilo Medical Center Foundation is proud to celebrate the accomplishments of the four boys. Four doctors who came together to make a huge impact on our Big Island community and the creation of the residency program. Here is their story.
Well, the community was tight and it still is. The local doctors, we get along with each other. We're all busy. But at that time, I think we met through some of the organizational attempts from Queens Medical Center. And we all in private practice. We cover for each other at times on call. So it was a combination of all of that we formed a call group.
I came in 1980 and I don't think any of the physicians that I knew for my whole life that were in practice at that time, the older physicians, I don't think any of them actually talked to me socially until after about a year. I remember this. I mean, these were docs that I had gone to myself when I was growing up. And it was a very funny community because everybody's kind of isolated and they didn't really talk to each other. I don't think it was on purpose. I think everybody was so busy and,
Well, three of us originally worked for what was then called the Hilo Medical Group. And Dr. Shikuma was not in that organization, but basically we used to go out to drink.
We wound up talking to each other quite a bit because we thought that there was a lot of things that needed to be done in the community. So Dr. Shikuma was the chair of the internal medicine department about the same time that I was chair of the family practice department. Dr. Kadooka was and I were both president of the County Medical Society at one point or another, and Dr. Kurihara was pretty dedicated to the community because he among the other two guys grew up in Hilo.
And we talked about things that we felt the community needed, and one of the things was we could see even back then, and I don't remember the exact year, you'll have to ask one of the other docs, we recognized that there was even then a shortage of docs. We knew that we weren't going to be able to practice forever, and we just didn't see people coming after us, or even at that time.
Four docs invited me to dinner and discussed healthcare problems on the Big Island, especially the lack of doctors and the devastating effect it would have if we didn't have enough doctors. That was over 20 years ago. They were very concerned about when they retired, there would be no one to fill the void, and this is why they wanted to create a strategy to recruit and to retain family physicians to take their place. Can you imagine, this was 20 years ago, and they said they might retire soon, and thank goodness they haven't.
The residency program was born out of need at that time to service the community, and that's the trite way of saying it. What we're looking at is that as docs, we were the ones in the trenches, so we were the ones getting, caught in between the hospital work, patients without doctors, and all of that. We were the only ones left. We were the thin red line, so to speak. So we could see that we desperately needed help, and the idea was that doctors that train in a certain area will tend to stay there and do their practice, which is the model at that time, and that's when the great start occurred.
We had to go to the legislature to request funds and support for the residency program. We had to get the support of the other physicians in the community, and we had to most of all get the support of the medical school, and that took time.
Yeah, the first program came out through a cooperation with the hospital and the university, and that started our first clinic. And fortunately, we were able to have Dr. Dolan and Dr. Hopman and Dr. Martel, and they were our initial 3 faculty members that taught the residents. So that was located where the current Kaiser Clinic is, but was the old Hilo Medical Group building. And so we used that building, and the hospital supported it. Administration changes came through it, and the funding, a lot of it was challenging. So I think all in all, towards the ending, I think the financial stresses on the hospital was difficult, so they kind of eventually couldn't support the program.
After the 2 years, we had to close the clinics, and unfortunately, this moved us into waiting for new legislation to come on board. And fortunately, the Hilo Medical Center Foundation picked it up, and as well as the Big Island community supported this initiative. And today we have an ongoing, thriving residency program, and it's so gratifying to see these doctors working with our young residents and serving our community.
East Hawaii IPA was one of the things that I'm very humbly grateful for having been involved. It was kind of like a way of looking at physicians in a different way as an organizational group of animals rather than individuals, because at that time the model was individual doctors, solo practices, and we were trying to get together, we were trying to ally with each other, we were trying to use economies of scale. There's lots of things that was kind of contrary to how physicians were, what the physician practice model was at that time. So, and that's another one of those great ideas happening, I think 9 o'clock at night. Now that we look back, it's a great idea. But I don't know, the jury's still out. We'll see. But it was 9 o'clock at night in the parking lot of Nanilo Hotel. I remember this to this day, where the vow was made that we're going to go and we're going to try to put this organization together. And it was the four of us. We're sitting there.
In addition to the financial aspects to the doc, which was really a secondary thing that we wanted to be able to create projects that would be good for the the people in the community. I can't, off the top of my head, get any specific things, but care coordination and being able to get services that a single physician would never be able to organize in Hilo. By working together as a group, we're able to get enough funds together, we were able to approach insurance companies and get that kind of services for the people of Hilo.
People kept telling us, you can't do this, hasn't been done here, nobody else is going to do this, and we never took that as no. They told us that it was going to cost us about $1 million to start up an IPA. So each of us kicked in $2,500, and we created the IPA.
With Queen's help, we were able to bring things like the specialty clinics here, which got sponsored by Queen's initially, that they were flying in specialists to meet the local needs in addition to helping the local providers. So they put a lot of investment, and I think it's not currently now, it's really coming around, and with the IPA strength now, the insurance companies work even tighter with us to try and accomplish the goals.
We had absolutely no luck trying to get anybody else involved. Nobody else wanted to put in the time, the effort, or the work to do this, and we tried because we didn't want to be on the hook for the rest of our lives, and some people took umbrage at this. They call us the middle-aged Oriental boys. It was like, it wasn't because we really wanted to do this. It was because we couldn't find anybody else to do it with.
We're the proverbial cats that don't want to be herded. And for us to have worked together and started these different projects, I think that was the major success.
We get together, we work toward a common good, and I think that's our biggest contribution. And by the way, they used to call us the Full Manoa Boys. But I don't know if that ever came up. I remember the Four Boys, but it was the Four Manoa Boys. Oh, those Manoa Boys. They're doing it again.
People just called us that only because that's all they knew us as. We didn't have a particular name or designation. I think we just got involved in different things.
I just felt that these were very committed and heroic individuals who just felt so deeply about their community. They wanted to make sure there was continued healthcare in this community, and I was just so honored to help them.
So Kevin Kurohara, family medicine. I've been in practice for 30 years now, and just to let you know, I'm the youngest of the 4 boys.
Craig Kadooka. I'm a general internal medicine doc, and I've been practicing for 34 years.
Craig Shikuma. I'm a general internist. I've been practicing in Hilo since 1980, which is like 36 years.
Hi, I'm Richard Lee-Ching. I'm an FP. I've been here since 1980, and I'm proud to be a Hilo boy.